Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining a podcast today, Mr. Wissam. I went to your group profile and I read a good amount of research about your company. Your company is doing a lot of things in the space of construction, in the space of aviation, in the space of service industry. And one bit I also understood that you guys are also the leading makers and distributors of pasta. So if you can shed some light about your group, about your company, and how you are delivering your services to the other customers and partners.
First of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for actually creating this platform so people can actually hear and listen each other and get to know more about the good business face, not only the things that is always a myth in the head of the people that it is actually hard or impossible to do things. So I appreciate your job, guys, and this is one of the things that actually pushed me to be here today. So we can always be an assistance and help for new entrepreneurs that they are looking to establish and to start and kick off their journey in business. So Mehyou Group was established back in the 1980 by my father, Ahmed Mehyou. He's still the chairman of the group now, and I'm acting as the CEO of the group for the time being. Under the group, we have three main holdings actually. There is the first one that is named Intercontinental Aviation Enterprise. It does everything related to aviation, which is mainly pilot training, private jet chartering, and ground handling and maintenance services in aviation. We have another holding under the group called Mehyou Properties. Under Mehyou Properties, we run the businesses related to construction, contracting, development, and real estate. And the third holding is Mehyou SARL, pour le commerce et l'industrie. This company runs everything related to manufacturing. So over the years, things developed in the group. The story of the group started as a construction and contracting company through the GCC and the Middle East, and where my father found the big success. And then he established a food processing factory. Back then, was one of the leading factories in the 80s in Lebanon, delivering top products for the area. And it was a success that lasted almost 24 years before cashing out the business and getting into pasta manufacturing, then cashing out the pasta manufacturing. And now today, in terms of manufacturing, we only do machine production. So we don't do any more food processing. So we deliver machinery. So if there is someone that wants a machine for his factory, what we do is like we go build the machinery for him, so he can put his factory into work. And Mehyou Properties is working now mainly in the UAE and in Cyprus and Lebanon. We used to have a couple of projects as well in Qatar back then. Now our focus is between the UAE and Cyprus mainly. And for aviation, we are almost all over the Middle East and with growing projects all over. So Mehyou Group is run actually between me and my brother, that we sit on the board of the group, and with very high level of consultants, managements, and so on. And things are going well. I run the aviation business personally. My brother runs the construction and contracting business personally. And the machinery, we have people that they are actually doing it with experience that is for multiple years. For people, they might hear that it was an easy process for us because the group that it was actually processed by the father. But me and my brother were able to grow this group in the last 7 or 8 years by almost 65%. So it is something that we took and we were handled on a valuation that is X, and now the valuation grew almost 65% today in 2024, ready to enter the 2025, that I am expecting 2025 to be the best year ever in the group, in terms of clean revenue, in terms of the progress, in terms of the new projects coming our way, and a couple of new markets that we will be opening in 2025. We're heading into Asia, we're heading into Europe, so it's an expansion that we are planning for 2025, inshallah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what I hear that you guys are into multiple countries, multiple regions. So this, I just want to understand, with a family-owned group like yours, how do you maintain consistency across all the regions so that your culture and your brand and your identity remains the same? Because as you're expanding to different regions and even into different industry and services.
Actually, to be honest, because Mehyou Group is not represented as Mehyou Group, so we never do business under Mehyou Group directly. Because Mehyou Group, mainly, it's an investment management company that manages the investment of the family and the assets and the assets of the family directly. We don't have external investors. So actually, our almost all our projects are owned by the group, and they are directly invested by the board of the group. So expanding to new markets is not something that is hard, because for every market we adapt what this market needs. So as for our brand and for the group of brand, it's something that is very specific to the group. So we're keeping the culture, we're keeping the values, we're keeping the standards of the group. We're not actually changing the identity of the group to enter a new market. When we enter a new market, it's the holding that is under the group that is entering the market. So let's say if we're entering now a new market in aviation, it's not Mehyou Group doing it, it's Intercontinental Aviation Enterprise. So it's the sub holding that has to adapt for actually the region that we are going in. So, and that way we might be able to find a local investor that is interested to invest with us in a project, because Mehyou Group will be investing in IAE and the aviation business, and this aviation business might find a partner so they can invest together in an aviation project outside. So we adapt. So it's the responsibility of the holding under the group to adapt to the country and to adapt to the new market that we will be joining. So from our side as Mehyou Group, we decide if we are going to invest in this market or not. Otherwise, the sub-holding is completely independent and has the complete right. If Mehyou Group doesn't want to invest in this area, the sub-holding has the complete right to go find its own investor and money injector. So at any point, we act as an investment management group for the family assets and investments. But definitely, the companies that they are acting directly under the holdings that they act under the group, they are owned by the group. But at any point, if there is projects that they are outside our targeted interest, we might be able to explore any potential with the new incomers. But usually, it's a long strategy that actually can be explained in a couple of words. But usually, we work in a very specific and detailed manner in terms of, like, it depends directly as well. We don't enter a market if we don't know that this market is gonna be a booming market for us and it's gonna deliver. So we always want to hold the dignity of the group and the name of the group intact, whatever is happening. So
Understood.
So
Very,
yeah.
very well understood. So in this case, what do you feel? What is your criteria, or what are your parameters if you want to enter a new industry? Like, for example, you're currently in aviation, you are in construction, and you are into other kind of businesses. If you want to expand your industry profile or portfolio, what goes into your list of criterias, or how do you select which industry you want to get into?
Look, we have investments somewhere else, but it doesn't fall under the portfolio of the group. So we have some tech investment, but we don't manage it. So it's like just a project that we got, and the business development board of the group and within the group suggested that this is a good project to invest in because it has a high return on investment in a short time. We can invest in this, but this is not something that falls in the portfolio of the group because it's not managed by us. So we call these things external. We call these things external investments because usually, as a group, we don't invest in a company or in a project that we don't have experience in. So if now there is a project that doesn't fall under these three holdings, under construction, aviation, and manufacturing, we don't invest because actually we are experienced in this field, and we want to keep our investments and injections where we are sure that our return on investment and our assets are safe. So usually we don't go through new investments that is managed by us. But if we found out like there is a new good project in technology and AI or whatever it is that has a really good return, and the management structure as well, because we are not the one supervising it, and we reached a point where we are in a position that we trust this project and we think that the business plan is solid, we might invest in it. And other than that, for us, I don't think for the short term, I'm talking about 5-6 years because we have a 2030 vision and then we have a 2040 vision. So for the 2030 vision, I don't think from now until 2030 vision, our main focus is gonna be on the things that we are doing now, nothing else.
Understood. Pretty clear. So
otherwise, there is a statement that I say: you become a jack of all trades, but master of none.
Master of none.
So otherwise, you will be everywhere, and you will be making money, but you will be the master. You won't be the master of none of these industries that you are working in.
Absolutely. So I'll shift the focus from the group company. As you are into a construction business, what is your take on the current market, the property market, the real estate market, and which region do you think it's booming? Because the UAE, if you are in UAE, you see UAE has a lot of projects coming in and a lot of properties are getting handover. How do you see this market growing further?
Listen, the real estate market, it's gonna always be the safe getaway for investors and for people that they are not actually in the mood of investment. What does that mean? The meaning is that there is people that they make money in the world, but they don't have the entrepreneurship spirit or the business mentality. Like doctors, like lawyers, like engineers. At some point, they make much more money than businessmen. But at some point, they don't know how to invest their money. So they make money. It's either they sit in the banks, or they want to do something in it. Usually, if they go do a business, it fails. So 80% of the people that they are not business people goes and invest outside their fields, they fail because they don't have the know-how to run this business, and otherwise they trust someone to come in and run their business, and it crash. So real estate will always be the safest and the most secured investment because the asset is there. So the asset is there. You buy an apartment, if there is a correction or if it's a crash in the market, the prices goes down, but it will go up again. So it will never hit the button and stay in the button unless there is a war, unless there is a conflict, or there is a pandemic or whatever it is. If you have all these parameters, then you are in a force majeure, and this can affect any business, not only real estate. Then you will be in a position where all the industries are affected. But for me, the region that is now the place for everybody to be is definitely the GCC. So I'm not talking only about UAE. I'm talking about UAE. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. I'm talking in the future, Qatar will go back into its position. talking about Oman, Kuwait. All these countries are safe in terms of the investment. Definitely the UAE. I would suggest the UAE, my second country, to be honest, as because it is actually the land of opportunities now. So if you have a couple of money reserved, I would definitely tell you go invest in a real estate in the UAE.
Wonderful,
Not
wonderful.
only not only Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, Fujairah, every single asset in the UAE, in the United Arab Emirates, it's gonna be worth something in the future. The market might I will say it again, might do some corrections because I don't want people in the future to tell me, oh, but the market no. Usually the markets do corrections when after a booming. So you boom, you do corrections, and then you boom again. So if the market makes a correction, that doesn't mean that's the end of the world. It means that it is preparing for another booming or for another upward. So definitely real estate and the UAE.
Wonderful. Talking about corrections, COVID was one of the biggest corrections every industry saw, especially when you are into aviation. I think aviation was the biggest industry that took it. How did you tackle COVID era? And right now, I see many companies, they have not even reached 2018, 2019 revenues, the pre-COVID revenues that they were doing. So how is your post-COVID era in aviation and under industries going?
Uh, I'm telling people one thing is that aviation is one of the most interesting industries. It's a complete separate world. Like literally, when you get into aviation and you start working into aviation, you are just directing yourself and you are putting yourself in a new, complete different world. Why? Because you can't understand really how things are going on ground or in the air. Why? Because you just said that there is companies that crashed. There is companies that they didn't even yet reach their 2018, 2019 revenue, like pre-COVID period. But there is companies that they doubled their revenue. There's company post-COVID. Now they are doubling their revenue pre-COVID. So for me, it goes back to the management and the leadership of this of the organization. Like from our side, I'm gonna talk from our side. We're almost 1.5%, so one yani 50% more in revenue. So we are 50% more in revenue than so post-COVID we are 50% in revenue higher than pre-COVID in our aviation business. And the aviation business now is booming. The aviation world is booming, and in the near future, not before 2035, that we will be having another correction in the aviation industry. So definitely, I invite people to look into the aviation industry and invest in it, but they have to have the know-how. People that they don't have the know-how in aviation, they come throw money, they will lose. That is a definitive answer. And I saw it many times. I saw it in many places, airlines opening, because people made money, they wanted to create airlines and then crash it. The good thing in aviation is that your asset is flying. So at any conflict, if you know how to manage your business, at any conflict, it's not like a real estate. In real estate, if you have an apartment in one country and this country entered in conflict or a war, you are stuck with this apartment or this asset inside this country. In aviation, your asset is flying. If anything happens, you can fly your asset and move it outside. The only thing that can affect you is like COVID, a general global pandemic. Other than that, I think the risk is lower in aviation than in real estate if you have the know-how to run an aviation business.
Wonderful. And I think aviation might also be one of the most expensive business to be in, as capital intensive, buying airplanes and everything. So
Oh yeah.
also I want to know, as you spoke about technology and AI, what do you think? What is going to be the emerging trend, and what is going to be the next big thing, revolutionary industry that we can come into?
You know something? I don't have an answer for that.
Not even
To be
AI.
honest, not to be honest, because I think there is a lot of things hidden that we don't know about, and we are surprised about, like, every day you get a surprise about what's
New
going
AI.
on. So it's just crazy. I can't predict what's coming in the future, to be honest. Like, I can see all the science fiction movies that we used to see on TVs. I think we will reach a point where we will be having them in real life. But other than that, actually, I can't predict because that's the truth. There is no way actually you know what's gonna happen. There is no way. The world is
Absolutely.
developing. The world is developing really fast. My father my father was born in 1948, so he's 77 now. 77, I guess, 76 or 77 now.
76, 77, yes.
So he lived the Stone Age era, and he lived the first era when the cars, the airplanes started to get in, until the era where technology just to be started to integrate into our lives. Uh, he still has the old big phones, the big TVs, all these things. You see, now you have everything accessible for you. Like, look, you are in completely different continent, and we're having our online meeting. So nothing can predicted. And
Absolutely.
guess what? The booming of this happened in 10 years, between 2014 and 2024. So literally, the era of AI and all these things that is now we are seeing started back in 2011, 12. The launch was 2014, and now it's a 10 years period. So can you imagine what will happen in 10 years?
And obviously, but
I have no answer.
are you using any kind of an AI platform or anything for your business process, or to optimize your business? For example, Chat GTP to write certain codes or certain things. Yeah, you have many AI platforms that generate images, mappings, and everything. Are you using any kind of that stuff?
Look, last year in 20 in the end of the 2023, actually, we had I still remember we were having our general board meeting. We have it next week anyway. So it was where we integrated AI in our department. So it is where we decided that 2024 is gonna be fully AI integration for the company. Because before that, it was individual and management decisions. So if you are a manager of a department, you decide if you want to integrate or not. But by the end of 2023, it was a decision to integrate AI officially in our group. So we use a lot of these systems to optimize the operation in aviation, to optimize the construction. There is a lot of things that we are using. I can't name actually all the platforms that we are using, but there is a lot. Yeah, ChatGPT is something that we are using on a daily basis. I would say every single person on earth is using it on a daily basis. It's saving us time. It's saving us time, a lot of time actually. Like, when I used to write an email, I used to write the email and correct it maybe two, three times. Now you write an email, and after 2 seconds you have a corrected email that you will never be able to correct it the way that ChatGPT do it. So definitely, I think the world is heading there, and we keep the group updated and as much as possible running with the same pace of the development.
Understood. I have one final question, Mr. Wissam, before we let you go. So, for the new entrepreneurs that are currently, for the new founders and entrepreneurs who are running a startup, what advice would you give, coming from a family owned group business that you are into, and you have such a diversified portfolio? What advice would you give to the future coming entrepreneurs and founders?
I always say something that the people that every single person has a dream. The thing is that there is people that they dare to follow their dreams and to actually make it happen. The group before me didn't have aviation integrated. I was the one to integrate and to implement aviation and to add aviation into our portfolio. So, first of all, you have to be prepared anytime, everywhere for the door when it opens. Because I've been sitting in a lot of communities and with a lot of young entrepreneurs and young people that they are sitting there and they're just like, we don't have luck. We couldn't get the money to start our business. So a short story. One time I had one person with me in the office, and he's one of my friend's friend, and he was introducing me. He was introducing him to me. So he asked a question. How did you do it? Because it was easy for you. Everything came from your family, the investments came from the family. I was like, no. When I created the project, if it wasn't my family investing it, I would have gone and found another person to invest it. So for me, after experience, it's the hard thing to do is to create the project plan, to believe in your project, to have everything implemented into you in terms of how would you like and how you see your project and how you think, and be ready to answer every single question. And then look for money. That guy was sitting there and he was like, yeah, but I have a really good idea and I want to implement it. And so I was like, great, pitch me your idea. I might be interested to invest in it. He started talking for 10 minutes. I asked him a question. Where's your business plan? He was like, I don't have a business plan. I was like, congratulations. You lost now one opportunity for someone to invest in you. So first of all, work hard. Believe in your dream. And if you have something implemented, don't keep it like a dream, talking about it. And then when there is someone that tells you like, move forward, well, I can't. I don't have the money. You can have the money. Like fundraising and investment firm. There is 1 million investment firm in the world. There is a lot of investors looking for opportunities every day. You have to always be ready for the door when it opens. You have to have the key. The key is to be well prepared every time. It might sound difficult, and it might sound difficult, and it might sound hard. The problem is that you have to be ready for the day that the day the door is knocked. Then you will be in a position actually to open that door. Don't sit down and nag about things that is controlled by you. That's it. Believe in your dream, work hard, and you will get there. Believe me, I didn't see an entrepreneur or businessman in my life that worked hard and didn't reach the direction and the position that he wants.
Right.
Because it is always coming in the right time. And God will give you the right thing in the right time. You just have to be ready, or you will lose the opportunity.
Absolutely. That's some great advice, Mr. Wissam. Thank you so much for taking
Thank you
time
so
out
much.
from your busy schedule, taking time out and giving us time coming to our
My
podcast.
pleasure.
It was great having you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Goodbye.